Yo, what's good, people? Peek out here in Singapore. It's like 9 o'clock Monday morning. We're back at school already, so we got stuff to do this week. I wanted to jump on real quick because I was listening to Esther and Jerry Hicks, Abraham Hicks, actually, and there was a concept that they spoke about that I thought was really fascinating. I never considered it before. So, what she was saying was that it's possible to change your history, and I'm thinking, what do you mean? I don't get it. But if I understand it correctly, what she was saying was if you come to grips with how you feel about your past, it kind of changes your past, it changes your history. Hang on, let me try and explain, okay? So, if we were to have someone write about Trump's presidency, it really depends on who's writing that would tell the story, whether it was good or bad, right? So if it was a Trump supporter that wrote it, it would be good. If it was someone who was really upset by all the things, all the changes that came down after he went into office, it wouldn't be so great, right? So as you can see, everything is perceptive. I'm sorry. What is that word I'm looking for? Subjective. Yeah. So it really depends on the eye of the beholder, which means that the things he did exist, but whether they're good or bad, that really depends on the person who's writing about it. So if I think about my past, right, some of those things that happened when I was going through them felt very, very, very bad. Some of those things, obviously, some things I can't take back, some things I can't change. But if I understand that, okay, that's taught me something, I'm going to move on from there. It's no longer something bad because it no longer holds me down, then in that regard, is it possible to really change your history? As in, the actual things that happen don't change, but the way you see them change. It's not a bad past anymore. So if I had a tough childhood, now looking back at it, it's not so bad because I learned from it. I'm just curious, is that something that could really happen? Is that something you feel could be possible? Because I like that concept. I like that idea that I could change something that was bad before into something good. Um, Mistakes are supposed to be like that, right? They say, use your mistakes as stepping stones, use the bricks that, no, the stones that people throw at you to turn them into bricks to something that you build a foundation on and grow from that. Like all those things people say, but they don't exactly explain how to do it. And I think that this is an interesting concept. It's new for me. I've never heard it before. I've never heard it put like that before. But I like the concept because it's almost like a redeeming quality. It's almost like, okay, I could come back from this. There's no big deal. I could find a way to do better. I could find a way to be better no matter what happened to me in my past. So all of those people who've been through major, major, major trauma, you no longer have to be defined by the trauma. You could be built from it instead. Maybe you had something horrific happen to you as a child. Maybe it was sexual abuse. Maybe it was, maybe you were beaten mercilessly by your parents or something. And it was just something you couldn't come out from for a while because you were in it. You were going through the storm still. But as you distance yourself from that moment and you find yourself trying to be different in spite of what happened to you, I feel like you're changing your history. I feel like that becomes like a, um, kind of like a diving board from something that was bad into something that could be better. Honestly, there are a lot of people out there that, they were beaten by their parents. They think that's the only way to treat their children, so they do exactly what they know. Do unto others, meaning they do exactly what they know because they don't know that there's a different way. They don't believe that there should be a different way. They feel like if I deserve this, then you deserve this too. I went through a phase of that, honestly. Like, I felt like if I wasn't allowed to do certain things at a certain age, then my kids shouldn't be allowed to do those certain things at a certain age either because they need to earn their way. That was the upbringing that I came up with. Um, and I feel like, okay, yeah, I get that, but what changed my mind was remembering that those kids are just kids. They don't know what I went through. They didn't grow up in the same culture I did. And that was possibly the best thing that I could have done or realized because I was raising kids from a different culture. Yes, I'm Hindu, I'm Indian, I'm Sri Lankan, I'm Tamil, all those things put together, there's a specific kind of upbringing. Now, if I had married someone who had kids in my same culture, chances are they would have understood when I said, no, I didn't get this when I was your age, you shouldn't either. They probably would have understood, like, oh, yeah, okay, because everyone did that. Everyone reinforces that. But I married into an African American culture with two kids who had two different mothers and they came from two different backgrounds, and the father had a certain idea of how to raise the kids, and each of the mothers had different ideas about how to raise the kids, and then there was me, way out in left field, trying to put these two kids together under the same roof, try and build a family out of this chaotic situation. And what the only way I could do that was to show them they were both being treated the same. There was no age difference, the rules were the same, and that they were still kids. That they had me no matter what, they were still kids. So that changed a little bit. And for me to come out from under that, I deserve because, I'm sorry, you deserve because I didn't deserve until such happened. For me to be able to come out from under that, that was a major pivot for me to show that my past did not control me anymore. My past did not define me. I could choose for myself. I could be a transitional figure in my own story. I didn't have to continue the generational curse. I didn't have to continue the way that it's always been done. I could change it for myself. So with that being said, can you really change your history? Do you believe that? Does that sound good to you? Is that a belief that you could maybe adopt, and maybe it would help you or give you permission to be a little more free and be a little more yourself? Because then you're not defined by the title of, oh, survivor, former victim, whatever the case may be. I really like this idea. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Please chime in below. Let me know what you think. If you don't think that it's possible, hey, you know what? That's cool too. But I like this concept. It's very different from me, and I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and run with it and see what happens, because that means I can redeem myself. That means some of the mistakes, some of the things that I chose to do because of the people who hurt me, I can make up for in this lifetime. That means the cross that I have to bear, or I thought I had to bear, um, doesn't have to be as heavy, doesn't have to be carried as long as I thought it did. I don't have to take it to my grave. I could maybe do something in this lifetime that redeems the things that I did that were not good, that I knew I had a choice in, but I chose to succumb to the fear and choose not so well. So I really love this idea, changing your history, and the fact that, that you look at it from the vantage point of if someone were to write a history book about you, right? There are people you've wronged and there are people you've helped. It depends on the person who's writing the book, what they would say about you. So, that being said, yeah, I like this concept, y'all. Let me know what you think. I will catch you again soon. Bye.